Hello and good evening, and thank you for coming to the October 8th, 2025 Select Board meeting. The agenda. So open meeting pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20F. After notifying the chair of the public body, any person may record or transmit this open meeting. This hybrid meeting is being recorded by the town of Stockbridge. The names of members participating remotely will be announced. Any member of the public wishing to speak must first receive permission from the chair. The agenda items listed are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, but not all may be discussed, and other topics not listed may be brought up for discussion by the public body as permitted by law. So approval of minutes from September 18th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yeah, so moves. And public comment. This is an opportunity for the select board to listen to residents, property owners, and business owners. Topics of particular concern or importance may be placed on a future agenda. Each speaker will be limited to 2 minutes. Total time will be 10 minutes. That will be could be extended by the chair. So is there anyone in the audience that would like to participate?
If it's on the agenda item, you don't have to.
Then don't count. Okay, take my head back.
No, so it would be just something you wanted to say. Anyone on Zoom that would like to speak? Seeing none, I will move on. Consent agenda. So these are routine, non-controversial items that usually do not require discussion. Take action on a one-day alcohol license for Mike de Aquila for the BBG Harvest Festival on October 11th and October 12th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Can I have a motion?
Make a motion to grant it.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That moves. Take action on a one-day alcohol license for Catherine Parang. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong, for a wedding at the Berkshire Botanical Gardens on October 18th from 4 p.m. to 10:45 p.m.
I'll make a motion to grant it.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So it moves. General government. We have public input by the public will be limited to 3 minutes per agenda item. Total time will be 10 minutes per agenda item that will be extended. Could be extended by the chair. To approve the warrant for the November 4th special election. That's the school vote.
Make a motion to approve the warrant.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
You want any discussion? Discussion.
Do you want a discussion?
These-
I would just like to make a comment that to remind everybody, there's 2 ballots. One is to vote for the school or the opposite, or, and the other one is a debt exclusion. So you'll get 2 ballots on that day. And that's all I can say at this point. But anyway, it's very important that you all come out and vote for a new school.
Can we say public comment on that?
You have 3 minutes.
I'm going to be very quick.
And you have to say your name and where you live.
Sure. My name's Rich Bradway. I'm from 92 East Main Street. The first vote is just simply to vote for or against the project to build a new monument mountain at high school. The second one is a debt exclusion. What I want to just point out on this is that what we want to try to avoid is a situation where, say hypothetically, we vote to approve the school building, but then we don't vote to approve the debt exclusion. That could be very bad in terms of our finances. And so the point of it is to, if you vote to support the school, you'd want to vote to support the debt exclusion as well. That's all I'll say.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the public that wants to talk on this, the warrant? Seeing none, I'll end discussion. We have a motion and a second. A vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, so it moves. The Revolutionary War, an update on research of names of those that served. I believe that's our town administrator and Rich Bradway will speak on that. And we don't need a vote on it.
Nope. I think he's going to start. So.
Just. There we go. So the Revolutionary War project, as we're aware, a town meeting was passed that we would look at developing a Revolutionary War memorial at the Chime Tower where we have the other memorial stones located. Right away, one of the first challenges that was recognized was we need to think about names. So a working group was put together. This working group has been meeting every 2 to 3 weeks since July 1st with a preliminary work that has been researching names, reviewing design options, and submitting inquiries to the Massachusetts Historical Commission. Myself's been on it, plus numerous members of the public who have been on it, including Harold French, Jay Andrews, Bruce Blair, Karen Marshall, Patrick White, Rich Bradway, Joanne Bedler, Greg Dufek, Bonnie Hartley, Sherry White, Rick Wilcox, Talia Lidari, and Joshua Hall and Gordon Roberts. And I will let Rich talk about what we've been done to date.
So the big challenge here has been that we want to make sure that we are as accurate as we can in terms of who are the names that would be on a Revolutionary War memorial. One of our biggest challenges is that the town of Stockbridge was an enrollment center for the Revolutionary War. So people came from outside of Stockbridge to enlist or enroll to fight on behalf of the colonies against Great Britain. And one of the challenges is that the records for the people who enrolled is that they on their record, it just says Stockbridge. So we had to kind of go through every single name and figure out if Stockbridge represented where they enrolled or where they were from. Okay, so that was one of our biggest challenges. We also, some of the other challenges is that back in the day, people spelled their names differently. So for example, Andrews with a Andrus versus Andrews Andrews, trying to make sure that they are actually different people or the same person. So we worked on that. Some of the biggest challenges is that some of these folks are represented, but they only fought for one day in the Revolutionary War. And because of that, they're on their record. It's a legal record that they fought in the conflict. And so we had to acknowledge those people as well. And then the other thing that we just discovered is that some of these people that were in various lists were pretty young. Some people were 15, 12, 15, and we kind of figured that they might be buglers or drummers or orderlies, but there were some that were like 6 and 8, and we were like, we don't know if that's really legit. So we went through all that, and what we compiled is that we have 466 verified names to be included on the memorial. To give you a sense of order of magnitude, there are about 250 on the World War II memorials, and there's about 230 on the World War I memorial. So we have double that just from the Revolutionary War. In addition, we have two names that we're still working on to just sort of clarify, but at the timing of this meeting, so we may have 468. And then we have 11 names that we think are probably not valid, but we're still just spending some time to validate. Of the 466 verified names, there are 93 Mohicans, 12 African Americans that were both freed and enslaved, and 361 colonists. We've worked on a proposed inscription. This is not final, that we're just sort of just giving you some of the sense of the work that we've been doing. So this is the inscription that we might like to include on the Revolutionary War Memorial. This marker commemorates the esteemed patriots who achieved American independence, believing in the noble cause of liberty. Stockbridge area residents of Mohican, African, and European ancestry served side by side and fought valiantly to found a new nation. That's just proposed. We're just trying to keep the ball rolling. In addition, we started to think about design considerations. So we have a very large list of names. And one of the challenges that so basically one of the things that we want to do is we want to list all the names alphabetically. So there'd be first and last name in order from last name first, and last name, first name in that alphabetical order. We would have notations next to Mohican and African-American individuals just to indicate that they were either Mohican descent or African-American descent. In addition, one of the bigger challenges is that if you look at the Mohican names on the list, they are very long names. I mean, they're 2 to 3 times longer than a colonist's name. So we have to take all these things into consideration, volume, size, everything. And as we started to look at the stones and looking at neighboring town stones, which we're still working on, the working group seems to be fond of the World War I memorial, which is a more rustic stone. The other ones are more modern, sort of angular stones. The one that's the World War I memorial, which is right in front there, is basically a large flat stone with a bronze plaque on it. And we're liking that idea, but we're open to input. Because it is the largest stone and because of the way that the stones are presently placed, they're not in any particular order. And so we wanted to place them in a more chronological order. And given that the Revolutionary War Memorial would be the largest one, we are suggesting that where the current World War I memorial is located, we would put the Revolutionary War Memorial there. We would then put the World War I memorial on the east side, which is where the current Korean War memorial is. We'd leave World War II in place, and then we would put Korea and Vietnam on the west side of the memorials. So this is basically the layout of what we're proposing. So that's just to give you a sense. We'd also like to include a second flag to acknowledge the Mohicans. So the Stockbridge Muncie community would be there as well. So we'd have the American flag and the Stockbridge Muncie flag as well. The other things that we might want to consider, these are not necessarily in the budget. We're still working through budget and understanding what the order of magnitude of all this will be. But we would like to consider installing a modest sized marker denoting the site of the first meeting house. So if you recall, a few years ago, the Stockbridge Muncie were out there doing archaeological investigation, and they discovered where the first Indian meeting house was first established, right there, right in front of the Chimes Tower. So that's something we might like to consider. We'd also like to consider benches for contemplation and respite, and then potentially installing modest stanchions around the memorials. Reason being, the above design considerations can not only serve a specific purpose, but they can also serve a secondary function by preventing parking in proximity to the memorial circle. So just to give you a sense, it's kind of hard to see, but if you look in the lower right-hand corner, you'll see a dotted line. That represents the outline of where the first Indian meeting house was. And in that corner, the up top left corner of that sort of dotted line square or rectangle is where they discovered the corner of that building. And so we were thinking about a modest stone, and if you could go to the next slide, I think we have a picture of that stone, or an example. It would be something very modest like this, where it would just say site of first meeting house in Indian Town, 1739, 1785, and on it could be the tribal seal and the town seal. And it would be just a very small stone that would be just sort of sitting maybe a foot above the ground, right in that corner. So that's where we're at. I provided the list. And what I'd like to do and what the group would like to do is to submit this list to the town administrator so that we can make this list publicly available so that the town can review, because we want to make sure that we're not getting anything wrong. We also want to make sure we're not missing anything. The one thing I'll just note is that the items in green are the ones that we think we have very high, like, confidence that these people were involved. Items that are red and orange are those other ones where we're still doing a little bit of research. And what we also included were the sources from which we were able to source the information about their participation. The one thing I did not include in this is that Rick Wilcox went through the entire list in the clerk's office and went through all the burial cards to verify those that were actually indeed buried in Stockbridge. So, and he took a picture of every single one and texted it to me, and everything is now stored for public knowledge. So I just wanted to submit this. I'm hoping that people will review this. In terms of timing, we'd like to give the town and the public about a month to review it and come back with any feedback. We'd love it if they could just reach out to Michael and he could gather the information, and then we'll review that information. And then from that point, we'll then be able to have a pretty solid understanding of how many names are on the list so that we can then figure out what the size of this memorial will be.
So a couple of things, really a tremendous amount of work being done by a lot of people here, and really outstanding work overall. And I'm really appreciative. Rich has really taken on a lot to himself. So, but the whole group has really worked hard on getting this list where it is. I did send everything to Preservation Inc. to have them begin thinking about the concept. Of course, all final decisions will be made by the select board. So right now we're trying to put together the idea of it and then bring it back to the select board for you guys to consider. So what I would do is post it in our news section, the list, and then have people, and I'm probably going to have them directly because I'm going to be gone for a little bit here while this is going on, have them contact Teresa if people see anything, and we'll log a list of any email responses we have, get them to the work group, and we have a number of people that are doing the historical research, so they can then take a look at those as they come in and begin analyzing whether or not they should be added, removed, whatever, and that, depending on what people come back to us and say. So we'll take care of that tomorrow, get it up on the website if the board's okay with that. And there's no decisions that need to be made at this point. It's still, this is sort of the final step. And then hopefully in about a month, we come with our recommendations, and then it's really up to the board then to carry the rest of it through with Preservation Inc.
Right. And one thing I just forgot to mention is that we're trying to target completion of this project on or prior to Memorial Day in 2026. We have, per the town meeting, we have, I believe, $67,500 secured for this work. In the off chance that we run over, where the working group is working with a couple of other outside sources to help fund and supplement that, which may also include funding to allow the Stockbridge Muncie veterans to come here and celebrate the commemoration with the town of Stockbridge. So,
Okay.
okay.
Thank you.
Will you also put up the slides? And
I'm going to
names
put the
and-
presentation and the name list both up on our website under the news section.
I'll just leave some extras in case you want to, someone wants the old
They
fashioned
want
hard copy.
physical copies. Yeah.
Thank you for the
Thank you.
presentation and
any
your
other-
hard work.
Questions from the board?
Any questions,
Thank you.
Georgia?
Cool.
This point?
Anyone from the audience? Any,
Anyone?
Katie?
I would love if we can
or you guys, because I'm not researching this, to figure out how to not get the parking in the memorial area, because it happens quite often.
Right. I mean, that's part of some of the other design considerations that we're looking at.
Yeah.
If you put a bench there, it makes it even harder to park there. So.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
Things just sort of like, they serve a purpose, but they also serve
More purposes.
more purposes. And I want to thank Talia, who's on Zoom. I know she's here for something else, but she was tremendous help.
She did a lot of work. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question, is there something that delineates that this is the War Memorial area or something like that, that ties them all together?
Is there a part of the town green sign? Is there something like that there?
No, we'll have to look at that.
So
I
should look at-
yeah, I mean, I forget because it's not been the town hall for forever, but there used to be a sign there that sort of said what everything was.
I think it just says town hall, church,
And Chime Tower.
golf tower and
yeah,
golf.
Yeah, so we might want to.
Might be a time to redo that sign.
Sure. I'll tell you that if we do what we do and we have a very large singular memorial and we are putting it in the front where the World War I memorial is. It's
You're gonna see it.
It's really going to be hard to miss it because it's going to be quite large.
It's in pieces.
Right. Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
and anyone on Zoom? Seeing none, we'll move on. Highway chip sealing update.
So I just gave you a little memo about the chip sealing. We had a number of roads in town that after we applied the chip sealing about a year ago, it didn't adhere properly. We did, I know, Chair, you mentioned that some people had asked
Right.
if what was going on, why were we treating the same roads again? This was, we made the contractor come back and redo the work because it was warranted for a year and it was already starting to come up. So they have redone it. We'll be sweeping it in the next week or so. And that's why the same roads they saw done last fall are being done again. So it's just a warranty. There's no cost to the town. And we just want to make sure it was done right.
It looks good. Curtisville Bridge, possible path forward by removing the bridge from requirements of Chapter 85 Bridge regulation.
Yeah, so I just. So, sorry, come on. Sorry, man. So I gave you guys a memo about what's been going on. So we began talking about what could happen with the Curtisville Bridge. And one of the concepts is does it have to be rebuilt as a bridge? So I reached out to Mass DOT and over the summer and have had conversations. What it comes down to is if we want to do anything outside of Chapter 85 standards, which would be rebuilding the bridge to the standards of what a road bridge has to be done nowadays with guardrails and the rest on it, that we would have to discontinue the road in that section. Once you discontinue the road, that section of road, this would be a town meeting vote, that would allow us to do whatever we want with that bridge. So what I've spoken with Highway about and battered around with a couple, and you guys have it is an AI created image of the possibility of putting a trail pedestrian bridge similar to the one we put over the dam and putting that up on the, over the bridge, spanning the bridge well beyond the two foundations. And then just having regular stonemasons come in and repair the bridge and the sidewalls, but you're not going to be doing it to the code of putting traffic on it. What we then do is rip up the blacktop and put actually shallow rooted plants on top of the bridge, basically creating our own little bridge of flowers. So it's just a concept if we want to think about a third alternative to this. Because if you remember, one of our alternatives was rebuild the bridge as a pedestrian only bridge, rebuild the bridge as a vehicle bridge, or the possibility of keeping the historical structure and put a pedestrian bridge over the top. And for those, no, it's not letting me call it the image. I was gonna throw the image up on the screen, but I'll put this image on our website also tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't know why the internet's acting a little funky right now, but the select board has an image of it. It's not anything, we have a lot of time to talk about what the three options are, which one would we like to go to? And if you were interested in this one, the main thing to take from it is we would have to put an article on to discontinue the road in that section. And then the bridge would be ours to do what we want with. In addition, the 2015 planning grant that gives final say to the Mass Historical Commission will expire at the end of 2025. So really, the town can do what it wants with that bridge after calendar year 25. And if we discontinue the road, we're not beholden to developing the bridge under Chapter 85 standards. So
That's a town meeting vote.
that would be a town meeting vote, select board vote, and then a town meeting vote.
To discontinue the road, and then would we, and then we would make the decision whether to put the bridge over.
Yeah.
And fix it ourselves, or, okay, I will say that this is on the agenda for tomorrow with the Historic Commission. So I just want everybody to know that we also are looking into the historic part of the Curtisville Bridge, and we'll be discussing that at our meeting tomorrow.
Good.
One of the items
Yes.
going to be discussing.
And the main thing is obviously, if we're going to talk about discontent, now's the time. I mean, it seems like we're a long way from town meeting, but to be honest, it'll come up fast as we begin developing the budget, everything else, and then considering what we want to do with this structure. So I just wanted the board to be aware of it. There is an option if we want to pursue an option other than building the bridge back under Chapter 85 standards.
So will you bring these also to the historic?
Already have copies and everything ready for tomorrow's meeting. Yes. And get the opinion back from historical to bring back to to the select board, and then hopefully make a decision by midwinter if we want to, what direction we want to go, and then pursue it through town meeting. So.
Any questions? Any questions from the floor? Zoom? Seeing none. Thank you. Review and discussion of chime tower restoration.
You've got in front of you, the chime tower 9A, and then you'll see it's 12. They're gonna get 10 and 11 to me. They were for two other visits. So I will have those forwarded to you as soon as we get them. The biggest issue that we're facing right now with the chime tower is that the southwest corner of the building, back in 1980s, they put cement over the bottom about 3 feet. Well, cement over limestone actually causes additional deterioration. So the southwest corner, you can almost push your hand in like it's rotted wood. What will have to happen is they will have to dig in to the side, removing all the soft material, and then put a new stone in. Right now, we're hoping, and we'll talk about this when we get to contingency plans for the next 2 weeks. They're working on trying to source where to get Berkshire limestone, or as close to the Berkshire limestone as we can. We know it came out of a quarry in Great Barrington at the time. It's long since closed. So they're working on the plans of how to get a proper material for the chime tower in order to fix that footing. We then remortar and fix any other loose stones and the rest all the way up to 6 feet. We'd remove the cement that was used in the joints instead of proper mortar, which has caused some other deteriorations. It's pretty much in the first 6 feet, because that's where you get a lot of splash and everything else happening compared to just rain that runs off the rest of the building. So those are just some of the concerns. that we still have. We still have funds available and we think we're gonna be able to fit it within the funds that we have
No, no,
for the
choice.
current project.
We gotta do it.
Yeah, the southwest, we're gonna break it up into probably a couple options. The southwest corner has to be done.
I mean, we'll do it.
For us not
We're
to.
doing this thing over completely.
Yeah.
We gotta do it all.
Yeah, and you'll see, I think there's a picture in there where they removed the cement and they, yeah. Yeah,
I would push to do the complete
yes,
reconstruction.
yes, and we,
So we're done with this. It's done,
Yeah.
done. For
And they
100
wouldn't,
years.
oh, sorry, Chuck.
Okay.
They wouldn't consider going up higher than 6 feet?
well, if we possibly could, but right now, based on the work that we need, we're talking about 6 feet, and that's where most of the damaged stones are below the 3 foot line, but we're gonna do up to 6 feet, replace the mortar. And that's where most of that other work was done. Where it comes down and slants out, they basically put some cement over the top and that. So, and they're proposing to do a full wash of the building and the rest. So the building it'll look great. All the major structural issues will be remedied. The main thing is they couldn't give me a definitive price until they source the stone. And that's what we're waiting on. So once we know that, we'll know whether or not we can even push a little more to get more done. So, but right now we're focused on,
On this one corner?
yeah, it's one corner and everything from the base 6 feet up. They gave me a ballpark. They thought it'd be about 75, but without being able to source the stone
So we have-
and where it's coming, we have over 100 still
So
remaining.
I would push to have them look at
Yeah,
everything. So when this is done, you don't come back in 3 years and say, we gotta go 2 feet
Right.
higher.
yeah.
I want this project 100%
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we
guaranteed
don't like
for
projects to come back.
another 100 years.
Yeah.
So my great grandchildren can say, yep,
Yes.
Papa did a good job.
Were there any other questions on?
No, I agree with Chuck because I've seen another place in town that they tried to do that and it's disintegrating,
Yep,
just peeling right off columns
yes.
of where they put this cement that isn't good. And you can see it. You can just really see it just peeling right off. So,
Save a few bucks and have in town
Yeah.
and do it and it just doesn't work.
Yep.
But no, this project, we've been doing it great so far. We got the money.
Yep,
If it's not necessary, then no, but. if
right.
it's
No, this
higher
is
than 6
necessary.
feet,
Yes.
then go higher than 6 feet.
I agree.
I mean, even if it's almost what, 20,000 maybe, so that's not even.
Yeah.
And that should be it. I mean,
Yeah.
the place it's been top to bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Part of it.
Yep, yep. And actually, the initial stuff was started by Chris.
right.
Yeah. It's taking a little longer than we thought, but it's getting to that
No,
point.
so, okay.
Well, I always say good things take time.
Yep. Well, it's a very important piece of history and very important.
Yep.
Historical piece of property.
Let's see if there was any other questions.
Any other questions? Zoom? Seeing none, we'll move on to Parks and Recs Committee, discussion of open space and recreation plan.
Hello,
And introduce yourself.
I'm Katie Swede. I am the chair of the Parks and Recreation Commission. The Parks and Rec Commission voted on looking into the idea of recreating a OSRP committee, which is an open space and recreation plan. This is a way to go after state funding, and you do this by having a recreation plan, open space, which is a tool for future planning, conservation, recreation. What am I saying?
Grant writing.
Yes, sorry, I hate public speaking. So what it is a way for our community to have an input on our future developments or conservation of land in Stockbridge. So there's two different grants that this commission or committee can go after. One is a park grant, PARC grant, which is Parkland Acquisitions and Renovation Committees. And that would be grants to update or improve playgrounds and recreation centers. Or there's a land grant, local acquisitions for natural diversity grant. And this is a grant that can go after conservation to purchase or save land for agriculture, forest, green buffers, passive recreation. And what this is, it's just a way to be able to apply for state grants. So there is a process to it, which the first is a plan, actually. So right now we have a draft going. I've been working on it for a little bit over a year now, and I had a great draft of it to start off from. It goes over age, population, wildlife, endangered species, land that's in forestry, agriculture, open space, playgrounds. It's a really beautiful roadmap of Stockbridge. And then what we would do is form a committee, and some of the members that are recommended but not required is select board members, Conservation Commission, Planning Board, Recreation, Historical Commission, Water, Public Works, DPW, members of nonprofits, land trusts, and residents. And what you do from this is the first meeting would kind of just go over this plan and what is in it. And then the next ones would be putting out a survey, seeing what the town would like to move into. You can form subcommittees if one group wants to really focus on open space and looking into conservation lands. And there could be a committee for playgrounds, recreation, updating our playgrounds, which could use a little TLC. And through that, you post to the state through survey results, public input, open meetings, what the town will like to see in a future plan, and then propose a 5-year plan to the state. It's a really great way for the town to come together to see what exactly we're looking for and what grants could be applied for different projects. And you don't have to meet too often, but the deadline for the next round of grants is the end of this fiscal year. So I'm hoping to be able to kind of get moving on this so that we may have a shot at being able to apply for grants in the next fiscal year.
So a little other information on this is we had a planner for a while where the town had hired a planner through BRPC to do X amount of hours. And when some of the other programs fell apart, didn't proceed further. Is a better phrasing. We had her there was a draft open space and recreation plan that had been started in the past and bring it up to, and a lot of that work was done. Then Katie's taken it the rest of the way to look at all the different pieces. So the final piece we need and that's remaining is the committee and then the public sessions and public feedback. And we think we can do it internally if the board's willing to let us take a shot at this. So there'd be these subcommittee meetings, we have to put out a survey to get back feedback on what people are looking for. And then you'd have an open meeting where people would come. I've run similar things like this where tables get set up. Georgia, you've probably done these, and you get people prioritize their top, and then we put them all together. I mean, we can go out and hire somebody if that's what the board would like to do. But I do think because it's so far along and we're just in these final pieces, I think with a few active people, we can get this over the finish line and open us up, especially the one I'm familiar with. And a number of things that I've done in the past have been through the park grants, which allow you to really fix up your parks and the rest. And obviously as a new applicant, I don't think we've ever gone after a park grant.
No, we've
Our feedback.
never finished from all the research. Sally Underwood Miller gave me a beautiful box of all the old plans and the emails from the state back and forth. And it's always gotten really close to finishing. And then it's just the public input part is where it seems to have always stalled. So if we can get through that little part, we could apply for some really nice grants, state-funded grants to get some items done.
Well, we got this far, we don't hire anybody, so why hire now?
Yeah.
I mean, we got a great town, people get involved. I think we just keep it at
I
that.
agree.
Instead of wasting money to have someone here who doesn't know the town and doesn't know what's going on. I mean, we're this far along, we're one step away from getting this complete.
All right, so we'll,
So what do you need from us?
so at this point, we don't need anything. What we'll do is bring back a formal recommendation then to the board for you guys, and you'd have to establish the committee. And a lot of those are just just having each of those boards designate somebody to be on it. But we'll bring back a full recommendation to the select board. We want to let you know we've been looking at this. We want to take it this last step. And if you guys are behind it, we'll bring a recommendation probably right in the first meeting in November, and get this rolling. If we don't get it in this year, at least we'll be well along and get in the following year, and then start trying to improve our parks.
But anybody from the public that might be interested in this could be able to contact Katie or you when you get back and be part of, say that they want to be part of the committee.
You need some, not only do you have the groups that you have to have it from, you do have to have people from the general public.
Right, that's what I mean, so that it's out.
And we'll make that official when we come back with an official
Okay.
recommendation, announcement, everything else. And then we think we can take this the rest of the way ourselves.
Okay,
Yeah, perfect. I like doing it.
I think so. I'd rather not hire somebody.
No waste of money. We always hire people and they're just,
And this is nice because it's townspeople. It's hugely based on public opinion.
yeah.
So it will be a really great collaborative project to work on.
Parks and, thank you, Peggy,
you.
and you're up still, so wait.
I'll stay here.
Did you want to see about?
Anyone have any comments or questions? Seeing none. Parks and Recreation Committee, discussion on request to remove gymnasium bleachers.
Can I go stand with her?
Yep.
Uh-oh, double team.
So I am gonna actually put on my council on aging hat on right now. The reason why we are looking into removing the bleachers from the town gym is to help with our pickleball classes. Right now, our pickleball, it started off as one day just for an hour, and then it slowly progressed to doing an hour and a half to 2 hours to 2.5. Then we added another day, and then we added a night. So right now we have 3 sessions that are scheduled in the gym, and we still have a wait list. And right now, what we are looking at is we have 1 court that goes along the basketball court. If the bleachers were to be removed, we can put 2 courts going in the other direction, and that will double our participation rate.
I just want to say about the bleachers, the reason they have to go is the size. Right now, I have been playing sports in the gym for probably 50 years. We used to play volleyball, and the volleyball program still goes on. The bleachers were a place where you would throw your coats and drop your keys and pull up the bottom, and somebody would slide under while 2 other people hold it up, and we would go and retrieve the keys. And in pickleball world, it is the pickleball that we go underneath and we hold them up, and the smallest person slides underneath there and grabs everything and pulls it back out. The people that are playing pickleball are really passionate, and we started out just casually thinking we would show a few people how to play. And I didn't think we would get the response that we got, and it just grew and grew. And I don't say no easily to people who just want to play a game. So we had 13 people sitting in chairs along the side for 4. I had so many people who volunteered to come and help coach and show people the moving up, the moving down, the keeping score. It was a tremendous, everybody had a great time. I would say 95% of the people who played Tuesday, there were 13 people for 4 spaces. So I tried alternating them and having them, hence the, can I have another hour? And they were all very respectful of the gym. Everybody loved coming inside and playing. A majority of the people are from just all over, and there are, I say 30% are from Stockbridge. I don't think I would do it if I had to say no to anybody, to be honest with you. It's a community spirited thing where everybody comes and everybody plays. So now everybody's emailing me and texting me, and they all want to come back. And I would kind of like to open it up again to the people who've never played and just give them the basics. I am not a professional pickleball player. I just play for fun. The bleachers have done nothing but get in the way of pickleball since keys and other lost objects, and there's a lot of debris underneath the bleachers. And I would just love it if we could just take them and put them someplace else. Then we could put 2 courts in and we can accommodate everybody. So that's why I'm here tonight.
Okay, so.
Thank you.
Um,
Discussion.
I'll have to make a motion, right? I'll make a motion to remove the bleachers.
I'll second.
We have discussion.
Okay.
We have discussion. We're not voting on it.
I know you're not. So I'm going to be negative about this. I'm sorry. Katie already knew that I think it's terrible that we take out the bleachers. I understand what you're saying. Don't get mad at me, Linda, please. I just feel that we need the bleachers. It's a gym. Bleachers need bleachers, but I feel that to have all those people that want to play pickleball, isn't there more times that you could do for more people to do it? I mean, I know that there are things going on in the gym.
Pickleball for me, I love the sport and I love the game, but it's a lot of time. It's not.
We're already at about 9 to 12 hours a week.
Okay, but I just feel,
There's other people using the gym too.
Yes, yeah.
Gym.
So it's hard to schedule right now with all the COA classes and what Tammy books for the schools, and it's a pretty busy recreation facility right now.
Which is what you want a gym to be. A gym is meant to be used.
right, but I also feel that that is our only big meeting space now that this room is this big, because we don't have the space. We do use the bleachers at town meeting, and I read your letter, and there were more than 10 people there because, yes, there were quite a few. We actually had to pull out more of the bleachers for people during town meeting time that were not registered voters to be there. I'm all for recreation, don't get me wrong, but I feel we have a pickleball in here, we have volleyball in here, we have a pickleball out there, outside, and I just feel that we need to, I'm just not for it. And I'll tell you that a couple of people, since they looked at the agenda, have called me and said that they are adamantly against removing the bleachers also. So I'm just bringing that back to everybody. And I would like to not us make a decision tonight. I would like to be able to have the public come back and think about it and tell us, not that we're going to take, whether they don't care about the bleachers or not, but I just.
May I ask a question? Is the purpose of separating the people who are on the bleachers so because they can't vote?
Correct.
Don't we have the little clickers? You could be anywhere. If you have a clicker, you could.
Right, but that still doesn't matter. It's very difficult.
Or is it difficult?
I mean, for people who, they might want to sit there. Now that we have the clickers, it might be different, but I'm just saying, a lot of people like sitting on the bleachers because they can see better because they're up higher.
Just one question, is there any other option in space, any other options?
Not indoors. Not indoors. This is like in October through March.
Okay, but outdoors, okay.
Outdoors is cold. The walls crack.
There's snow and ice, and it's gonna,
I played in January outdoors.
and that's there's gonna be an ice rink in the winter too.
Yes, it's gonna
Yeah,
be
it's gonna be
nice.
flooded.
Right, it's gonna be flooded.
Okay.
And are there bleachers on, I can't remember, on both sides?
No, just one
side.
Front side.
So just one side. And if the bleachers were removed, is it just wall under there?
Yeah.
Just, well, underneath the windows.
Okay, so it's, okay.
So
I'm for removing, but I will listen, I'll give it time, but I see it as, because people walk there, they play basketball there, they play volleyball.
Yoga,
Oh, right, yoga.
yoga's done in the gym. There's a lot of things done in
I mean, I know there's a lot of things going on in the gym now that this, things have moved around in this building and we don't have the downstairs anymore. But I just,
Well, I think it's hard to imagine a space that you've looked at for X amount of decades. You know, for me, because I did after-school programs in the 80s in that gym. And the bleachers were always there. But at that time, we had 100 children in the place, and we had
they have basketball games and stuff.
all kinds of things.
So no, you don't have the public
That's not happening.
coming to things.
There, I haven't, the only time I see them down, personally, I don't know if there's another time, is when we have the town meetings. And I sort of felt that, well, the clickers kind of make it obsolete to determine that this is the group that.
We can always rope up that corner and put chairs there.
but when pickleball dies after a while, I mean, like everything else.
Wait, volleyball's been there for 40 years.
But I know, I'm just saying that it's just like we're taking away something that, and it's only for 1/3 of the Stockbridge people. That's the other thing, because when we were talking about the basketball court on Pine Street, somebody called me and said that they play tennis and the people, and not in Stockbridge, but another place, and all these people are waiting and pushing them out because they want to play pickleball. And I just feel like, it's just, it's our Stockbridge town gym. And it's, and now we're only having 1/3 people from Stockbridge and 2/3 from who else? All over.
People that, there's more Stockbridge residents that
There's
are
a lot of
asking
them.
to start up now.
There's a whole bunch of them. I'll call them and tell them to call you. I have to say, I play pickleball almost in every court in Berkshire County, from Egremont through Pittsfield. Lennox is my place of choice because there's 4 designated and 2 optional. And I've been there 5 days a week at various times, mostly in the morning. The only time the tennis courts are absolutely filled there and is when they have the tennis at Lennox. And then they're filled. They're never fully filled. There's probably 30 people waiting to play pickleball, and there's hardly anybody there for tennis. And that's just the way it is. I think tennis is a terrific sport. It's not my sport, but it's a terrific sport. And that's what I see. I go to Egremont, I play in French Park, not a resident. And they have a sign-up sheet to play, and it's pretty busy. Doesn't affect the tennis courts. And the same thing with the people in Pittsfield. They have their tennis courts, but the pickleball courts are packed. The town just built gigantic, I think there's 6 courts in Pittsfield with overhangs so you can be in the shade. They're really lovely. It's everywhere, pickleball, and the people aren't me. There's only one group that's called No Mercy that has a little bit of a rough reputation because they're more competitive than the intermediates.
Is there any other place in Berkshire County that has indoor pickleball?
There's Bosque, if the
Yeah,
price
there's
of,
the
don't
Bosque.
quote me, it's quite expensive.
It's very,
There's the Boys and Girls Club. They have Berkshire Mountain Pickleball. I'm a member of that also.
Which you have to pay for.
But you do
Our
have to
classes,
pay,
you don't
yes.
pay for.
Our classes are free and limited. They're limited.
Oh.
I don't know that all the people who come to the yoga classes, the volleyball courts, I don't know that they're all from Stockbridge either.
I don't believe they are.
I mean, the soccer down there is hardly any Stockbridge residents for soccer.
This is my town and I love it. I've been here for 50 years, never moved, love it. But I am part of Berkshire County. And Berkshire County has opened up their arms in Pittsfield and Lennox and Egremont, everywhere to play.
So could you take out half the bleachers and still have,
Well, we would only do 1 court.
It would still only fit 1 court because you
Yeah.
need the the whole bleachers to be removed to fit the two courts in the other way.
Sorry, Linda. Just,
Okay, change is difficult.
and I know change is difficult and I understand that, but this is one thing that I'm totally against, so.
You should
Sorry.
play pickleball with us. And you might just feel differently.
I'm in favor of, sorry, but we moved them. I mean, we haven't used them forever. They're not in the best of shape.
And
The
I,
gym's not a gym anymore, we don't play basketball, you don't have basketball games there, you don't have things we need the bleachers to pull apart for the
We don't
fans.
have to throw them out. We could maybe.
Well, they're
do that.
not worth
Where
keeping.
are we going to store them?
They gotta go
You,
bye-bye.
you
I
are,
don't think they're.
you are
in good
getting rid of
quality.
them.
They're
There
going,
is
they're
no,
gonna
I
be,
don't think they're in good quality,
no.
like shape.
And then there'll be that expense to get rid of them.
it'll be a little expensive, a little expensive to remove, paint the wall in the back and do some odds and ends, but I think the overall ending is a good move, my opinion, but.
And I thought there was confusion at town meeting of who was a resident, who wasn't, because there was a whole mishmash on the bleachers. So I think a way to cord off non-residents and residents and who has a clicker and who doesn't might be even more helpful. And I think that we let all people play in our parks, like the children play in the playgrounds. What's any different about the gym?
And the soccer is all. out of
Soccer,
town.
any talks.
I mean, the park is pretty much nobody in town, few people, but.
I mean, we're losing our parks. I mean, we don't have a little league. Okay, we might have a little league sometime, but now we don't have that option because it's been taken away from us. It's been taken out. There's just,
We have no kids.
What?
well, we're getting kids and that's what I keep telling people. We have a lot of young people. People think we don't, but I know of at least 8 to 10 kids that are going to be growing up here, and not even including my own 3 grandchildren. So I just feel like, yes, I'm for parks and doing stuff, but we're not doing it for everybody.
Well, we've discussed having a program for the kids during vacation time where we would teach them pickleball. It would be a free program. They would have to get here and your parents would have to pick them up and promise to be on time.
Doesn't
But
work.
we have talked about,
I coach a lot.
but we've talked about it and it wouldn't cost anything because I would do it. I ran the after-school programs when Chris was in school and we were very successful then.
Oh, right. I mean,
Yeah, we put together a good program. I see no reason why they can't play pickleball here. It's an
What do
upcoming
you do from
sport.
here?
and how noisy is it for the
Should
floor?
probably ask if anyone on Zoom,
it'll be nice.
Yeah,
Well,
and that's the other thing. We're a business here besides having the gym. And if that's going to be, if there's a meeting over there going on and they have pickleball there and they're just pinging, that could be difficult. I'm just going to throw that out too.
We've
So-
been putting it in here for the all last winter and I would run through the hallway and just come in and see different people and say, is it okay in here? And nobody ever complained. In fact, what I have heard is, and which is why we want to do the evening class, is that they'd like to learn how to play too. I haven't heard any complaints. If I did, we would, I don't know what we would do. Because you can't make them any quieter. They are working on one though. The Franklin Ball Company is trying to make a quieter pickleball.
is there anyone on Zoom that has any input they want to share? I think they're eating dinner. Seeing none, we did do we opened it, we got a second, we've discussed it. So we can either call a vote or we can get more information from the public and put it on the next agenda for October 16th for a vote. Or we can take a vote tonight.
I would recommend if you go out for comment, the 16th is
Too
only,
short?
well, it's only next Thursday.
Sure.
Because you delayed the meeting. I would probably recommend you go to the first meeting in November, but that would be my only,
Right, which is,
I believe it's
The 6th.
November 6th.
It is the selectmen decision.
Yes.
and we've done a first and a second and a discussion,
So I'll make a motion, continue it to the, what's the date?
November 6th.
November 6th.
All right. I'll place it on the agenda for the 6th.
Can I ask a question? Are you going to put this out to the public in town and ask how they feel? How are you going to do that? How do they get word out?
We could do a survey and put the survey right on our website, asking people about, would they, survey, we have an account with Survey Monkey. We'll put a survey together, we'll get it on the website, and then we'll bring the results back for the select board.
All right, thank you, ladies, for your presentation.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yes.
Appoint members to the 250th Planning Committee. Possible members, Georgia Marsden, Katie Swede, Nancy Fernandez Mills, Miguel Rodriguez, Tyla, I'm gonna mess, Leo Jarrett, sorry, and Susan Price, Susan Krieger, Kirk Nichols, and Teresa O'Brien, and Keith Rafferty. Do we need to vote on it or anything?
I think
Yeah,
some
so
changes that George.
I have a change. Keith Rafferty does not want to be on the committee, on the full committee. He wants to be on a subcommittee, but that Tom LaBelle would like to be placed on the committee.
Well, he's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know this is a lot of people, but, and I also have heard from more people today. So that there's going to be working groups. So there'll be more people involved in this whole 250th Planning Committee once we get going and everything. So nobody's going to be left out, but,
So if we appoint these people here, there'll be the committee, then if somebody wants to be on the subcommittee, they can come in
Yes.
and you guys can put them on the subcommittee, is that correct?
right.
Okay. The only one name I'm not quite sure about Georgia, but I think it's,
Is it an odd number?
it doesn't have to be because you have
I wasn't sure if
subcommittees
it
and
has to be
everything.
or not.
No,
No,
Okay,
Because it's not,
no, these are people that are interested and reached out and,
I mean, it's not going to be something we're going to vote down.
right.
I mean, it's just,
And a couple of the people that we're nominating are here. Susan Price is here tonight. We have Talia on the screen. Nancy is on the screen. And Teresa. So,
no, thank you all. And not much time. So,
I mean, well, no, we have a lot of time. Everybody says it's only 250. It's a 2020, 2026, but we're going to be celebrating for a long time. And so,
yeah,
we have,
we need our biggest thing around the July 4th weekend, correct?
well,
Not your
not
committee. You guys
necessarily.
worry about that.
We'll talk about that.
there's so much stuff around Berkshire.
So I'll make a motion that we appoint all these people to the committee. And then if anybody wants to be on subcommittees, I report to you guys and you put them on and nothing to do with us.
Right.
So
Okay.
once we vote this, it's all this committee and then you bring us your recommendations.
Okay.
That way there, we're not sticking our nose in it. Somebody is, but we're not. So that's my motion.
Can I second that? I'll second that.
Okay.
You made the motion,
Well, you usually say all in favor.
but you made the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Great.
Contingency plan for October 10th to 24th, when town administrator will be out of the office.
So I'm gonna be out of the office starting on the 10th. I'll return to work on the 27th. That's when there's a slight discrepancy
Thank you.
in the notice that I sent to the board. Just wanted to go over a couple of things because this is a little longer than normal. And I will be out of the country, so unable to help out. So, the first thing is the warrants. So what I plan on doing is, to have Teresa contact the select board for signatures. That way the warrants can go out. We'll need at least 2 selectmen to come in. The other option is the board could designate somebody to sign on behalf of the board, could be the chair, to sign the warrants. If you would rather have just an individual do it, or the board itself can do it. So, that's up to the board if you decide how you want to do it.
What's your feeling?
Um,
I mean, George has been doing them, knows everything about them.
true,
Been
but
doing it for years and.
I am the chair.
I know.
There's another one I think Georgia should handle, which I'll come to if you'd rather.
But we used to, we used to sign the warrants, we just come in and sign it, so it's thick, we never really read through them and all stuff, it's.
I mean, all the selectmen could come in and sign
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
not just like, or the chair could just do it, whichever.
It's up to you, whatever you want to do.
Well, what do you want, Chuck?
I have a hard time getting in here a lot of times, so if there's only 2, that's fine with me, at least you 2 want to sign them. But I mean, have you ever seen the warrants?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's big.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that, something.
All right, so we'll just leave it as the select board, which means just 2 of the 3 of you need to get in and sign it before the warrant can go out. So, and Teresa will contact the entire board, letting you know when the warrant are ready.
I could probably get it.
They're typically ready Thursday by later in the day. And then on Friday, I would have Terry have them because Teresa's not in to pick them up, to come in and review them and sign them. All right. During my stay, Teresa will be handling liaison with legal staff for the staff and non-regulatory boards, so they'll just contact her. The chairs of the regulatory boards already have direct access to legal anyways, but if there's the staff or non-regulatory boards need to get advice on something, they'll reach out to Teresa. Day-to-day operations pretty much will run. I met with all the department heads yesterday. We had about an hour and a half meeting. We went over everything that's coming up over the next 2 weeks to make sure we have everything covered. So everything should be in great shape. If there's any urgent issues, it'll be first elevated to Teresa, and then if it goes beyond or there's an emergency situation or something else, that would go to the chair of the board. Specifically, I have here emergency situations. Smaller emergencies will be handled directly by the department heads if we had a fire or something like that. If we had to get to where it's an emergency, water line breaks, boiled water order, we're declaring an emergency. The chair would be notified in that case. So Jamie, you potentially could be contacted on a number of things depending on what happens. Contracts and procurement, pretty much all that will be proceeding as normal. I've gotten everything in that needs to be procured over the next 2 weeks. So there shouldn't be anything coming in that can't wait till I'm back. The one issue that we do have, and this is where I will make a recommendation because I think Georgia's uniquely qualified for this. The chime tower, they were trying to get the stone, the work, get us an estimate. They didn't think they'd get it by the 9th. So unless they get it in tomorrow, we need somebody to review the change order and get it approved if we want this to continue with no delays and get it done this fall. I think because of Georgia's past experience and familiarity with what's going on, specifically with the stone, since there's the same issue happening elsewhere in town, I think that she would be uniquely qualified to review the change order. I will be leaving all the contact information, our engineers from EDM and the rest with Teresa. So you could come in and then if there's any questions, you'll have all the, and I'll send it to you also tomorrow. Mark, if the board so chooses, have Georgia handle it. Mark Frederick is our lead engineer on the project and Diversify is our company that we're working with. So that would be one like I said, I think it's a unique one. If not, the only other option is to wait, make sure everything's checked off. But I think if they get it in next week, I don't think we should be delaying. So that Teresa will coordinate official correspondence. And then if there's any public statements, yes, necessary, that would come from the chairman of the select board. So yeah. Any questions in the meantime and whether or not you want to authorize Georgia to, if Georgia, you're comfortable with signing off on a change order when it comes in.
Sure, if they want me to, I will. I just have another question.
Sure.
So because you're going to be away for 2 weeks, the postings to CTSB,
Yeah, Teresa will be handling those.
Teresa will do that. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to,
Yes. And I have everything ready to go and tonight's meeting will go. So we will have everything done through this week by the time I leave tomorrow. So,
thank you.
any other questions?
Mm-mm.
Anything
I got
else?
no issues with it. You have issues with Georgia doing it?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I think the board should vote to authorize Georgia to sign.
I make a motion, Georgia could sign the change orders for the Chime Tower.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. See?
Okay.
Announcements. November 4th election, and there are a couple of remaining information sessions that anyone can go to. The October 15th is at the Ramsdell Library, which is in Housatonic. And it is at, I believe it's 4:30 to 5:30 PM. And there's one at October 16th at the Claire Teague Senior Center in Great Barrington, 12:30 to 1:30. There are refreshments provided too. Let's see. The Franklin Ripley bench is finished and it's out at the library. So if you're walking by, you can stop by and see it. There's also the Berkshire County EMS survey on our news page on the town website. So if you're so interested, it's a task force is seeking input from residents to guide planning for a reliable and sustainable shared EMS system. Your feedback will play an important role in ensuring services continue to meet the needs of our community. The survey will be open until October 24th. That's October 24th, 2025. And it's right on the website. It should be pretty easy
Who's
to
running the
find.
survey?
Michael.
Yeah, if I could just point out, if in case anybody is confused on this, this is not, has nothing to do with what we're doing with West Stockbridge. This is looking at all of Southern Berkshire as a whole, and it's being done by the Collins Institute. And it's a separate survey, but we're going to be part of that overall system. So we are encouraging everybody to participate in it.
Thank you for that clarification. And before we go to executive session, our next meeting, select board meeting, is Thursday, which follows our pattern, October 16th at 6:30 PM. We will enter executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A, Part 2, to conduct contract negotiations with non-union personnel, town administrator. The board will return to open session, a possible vote to approve employment agreement with the town administrator. So at this time, we will leave the Zoom.
Well, we're going to shut off the cameras and
Yeah, that's
the
what I mean.
speakers. We do need a roll call vote.
Roll call vote. All in favor?
Hi, Chuck.
Hi, Georgia.
Aye, Jamie. Thank you, everyone, for coming. If we don't see you later. Welcome back to the select board meeting of October 8th, 2025. We've entered open session. So we would like to make a motion for the employment agreement between the town of Stockbridge and Michael Canales for services as town administrator for the extension for the remainder of this year and for the contract starting October 2026. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
In a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Hi, Chuck.
Hi, Georgia.
Aye, Jamie. Is it all in favor? The motion moves. So thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
And we will make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone, for coming.